Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Bentar, joined alongside J-Dog.
Mike, it's good to see you. I'm reporting live from Phoenix, Arizona, where the Phoenix Suns are looking to advance to the NBA Finals tonight.
Do you have NBA news? Are you reporting live tonight? What's going on?
Okay. I have NBA news.
Okay, so I should hit that. There it is.
NBA news.
11 years in now, timing's never been better.
Never been better. It's right in front of me.
So I'm in Phoenix. I think I'm actually going to play for the Suns if they come back and play Game 7 because basically all the NBA stars are dropping. It's really been a sad scene lately. I don't know if you're following this.
I'm watching a lot of hockey. I don't know if you can tell by the shirt. The game's on tonight. Watching a lot of NHL. I know you're pumped about it.
It's NBA news, so we'll stick with that for now. But there's 4 teams left in the NBA.
Yes.
The 3 biggest players on 3 of those teams are very injured and may or may not play the rest of these playoffs. We're talking about Kawhi Leonard on the Clippers. We know he's out. But then Trae Young missed Game 4 last night for the Hawks, and then Giannis suffered a devastating injury. Now, they say it's not an ACL. It looked like an ACL when it first happened. It looked like one of those gruesome injuries. I'm sure you saw the highlight at least. It was under the rim. You never want to see a big man's knee bending like that under the rim. But he might play. What I'm saying is, I'm here in an NBA city. I might need to get some reps. I might shoot some threes.
So do you think this year's NBA will be more watched than last year's since it's out of the bubble? Or do you think the bubble NBA was better basketball? Like it seemed like there were no injuries in bubble basketball.
Yeah, bubble basketball was pretty healthy, I think.
Yeah.
The bubble basketball will be very highly rated because there was nothing else to watch at. Like last summer, we were still kind of in lockdown in a lot of places, especially you in LA, for example.
We literally just got off a lockdown like last week.
And now you're putting the mask back on, by the way, but that's a different story.
Yeah, we have to put it back
on. So the bubble was great because everyone stayed healthy and there was nothing else to watch. Now we have terrible teams like the Hawks and the Bucks. Like, unless you're a fan of one of those teams, it's hard to sit down and watch a whole game featuring them. And one of them, unfortunately, is going to be in the NBA Finals. So we're not done with them yet.
I haven't been watching as much, but it does seem weird that LA has a team potentially going to go to the finals. There's no real news coverage of it. People aren't out wearing Clippers gear like, oh, we support Clippers. I don't think anybody cares the Clippers are doing it. Kawhi's out, right? He hasn't been back. He's not coming back.
No, he doesn't seem like, right? Maybe for the finals, but not this series. I mean, they're playing a huge Game 6 in LA tonight, and it already happened for our listeners, so the Suns probably already won. But Kawhi's not playing this one. He's not playing Game 7 either.
I think it's weird because I don't know how many people are into the Phoenix Suns or the Atlanta Hawks or the Milwaukee Bucks. Like, are these teams that are spread across? It's almost like the NHL playoffs right now. Like, even though the reigning Stanley Cup champions are back in the Stanley Cup, they're playing the Canadians. It is not it's like maybe all of Canada will be watching.
I hope our listeners understand. We're doing NBA news.
I know.
I'm just trying to
bring it back. I'm bringing it back there. I just don't know. Like, diehard NBA people are going to watch this. I don't know. Are you watching NBA right now?
Yeah, I'm a diehard Suns fan, like I have been my whole life. I'm watching it. I'm wearing my Suns shoes right now. Should I show you?
Show us the shoes. Yeah, what are you doing?
The Suns shoes. Can you see the orange?
Okay, yeah, I don't know if those are Suns shoes.
So yeah, but what I'm saying is 3 stars are out. The Suns are the one healthy team, and Chris Paul had been out, and we had low expectations for this team without him, but he's back. The Suns are the only healthy team. The Suns hold the lead here. The Suns are winning the finals, and I'm here for it, Mike. So I'm telling you right now, put your money on the Suns. The Bucks without Giannis? No. The Hawks without Trae Young? No. The Clippers without Kawhi? Yeah, they've been scrappy against the Suns. They're not going to win the series. So I think it's the Suns who are going to win the finals. I think they have the best fan base left. I think they have the healthiest roster left. And let's just make it happen.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna try to watch some of the games tonight. You know, maybe intermission of the hockey game that's gonna also be on tonight.
Is there
there is hockey. I don't know. It feels weird because I haven't even listened to. You know, I like listening to sports podcasts, but I almost skip over like the NBA stuff. Like, I don't really care. Like, how much NBA stuff can we go over talking about? Oh, all these players are gone. All the big superstars are out. No one even. It's not even. There's no even like conversation around what's going on in the NBA. Like, it's just like, oh yeah, the Suns are there. They're doing this. Oh, Trae Young, he's really good. What's he doing? But it feels like almost like when you were in town, we played with the up and coming stars. It feels like these are a lot of stars that want to prove themselves and they're on their way there, but they're not there yet. And I think that hurts a lot of the very casual NBA fans, right? Like I'm not going out to the bar to go watch, Trae Young play tonight.
I mean, Trae Young's really good, and Giannis is really good, and Devin Booker's really good, and Paul George isn't a young star, but he's playing pretty good.
Yeah.
There's 4 like elite players left. They're just not all healthy, and they're not all playing, and so it does. And you're a microcosm of the average sports fan who pops in for the NBA playoffs or the NBA finals, and normally would watch when it's LeBron versus Steph Curry or some kind of cool matchup like that. And we're not getting anything close to that this year, so it makes sense that you would stick to hockey. Now, the Lightning series, and we can get to that in a minute, will be over before the NBA finals really gets going. I don't know what you're going to watch in July and August. Maybe the Olympics?
Now, well, I see people dropping out of the Olympics. So let's talk hockey first before we talk Olympics. I wanted to say,
all right, we can talk hockey and we'll talk Olympics. And I have a Scandal City around basketball coming up in the show. But let's get to hockey.
We don't have a bumper for hockey, but last time
How is that possible?
We don't have a bumper for hockey. NBA news, your boy Sean McDonough will be the play-by-play NHL announcer.
This was a surprise to me. And when you say my boy, we were trying to get Sean McDonough off Monday Night Football for a minute. And we replaced him with a hockey guy, with Steve Levy. And you're like, wait, can we just have Steve Levy do this? He has called hockey before. Him and Barry Melrose are with the Lightning right now covering the Stanley Cup final. But it must have been like a weird game of like Stratego or something where Sean McDonough lost his territory on football. And so they gave him the NHL territory.
It's going to be absolutely terrible. Sean McDonough will put you to sleep. Steve Levy will be leading the studio team and also calling several games throughout the season. But I thought it was a weird move because, like, why isn't Steve Levy calling, like, the big games? Why is Sean McDonough the lead play-by-play announcer? Doesn't make any sense.
It must be because Levy doesn't want to travel to games. He's got kids. He's traveling for Monday Night Football 17 times a year. He probably doesn't want to travel, and he probably is making enough money where he's allowed to say that. At this point, I still wish he was the guy, because Stanley Cup finals come. It's going to be Sean McDonough calling the biggest game of the year, the Game 7. Like Doc Embrick used to do that. That's a big drop-off to Sean McDonough. I still think there's something weird going on with John Buccigross, who I think is the best studio host they have. He's a huge hockey supporter. He's on the list. I thought maybe he'd get a bigger assignment than what they gave him.
I don't know his voice. I don't know who he is, so I don't know if I've ever heard.
You don't watch SportsCenter?
I do watch SportsCenter, but I can't like
He's on a lot.
Pick him off. I don't watch a lot of SportsCenter lately though. So
I was gonna say people our age really don't.
No, it kind of faded. Like you don't watch it anymore. It's just like clips on like Instagram. Like that's all I get. That's my SportsCenter now. But I just thought it was a weird move because I think we're going to see who's going to do a better job. I'm glad there's competition instead of just one network holding all the rights to hockey. I'm glad it's split up. I'm glad TNT got it. And I'm glad Wayne Gretzky's going over there. I think right now TNT has a better team put together just by having Wayne Gretzky.
And they have Kenny Albert, who's calling the Lightning Canadiens game tonight. It is the Canadiens, right?
Yes, it is.
They call them the Habs. What are the Habs?
I have no idea what the Habs are.
They call them the Habs sometimes. So tell me about this series. So we got Lightning, Canadiens, Stanley Cup final, 2 small markets. The NHL community is not buzzing about this, just like the NBA fans aren't going to care about it.
I would say the Canadiens being there is good for Canada. I think a lot of Canadians will watch it.
Yeah.
It is weird for hockey that a Florida team is back to back in the Stanley Cup. They dominated them the other game on, I think, Sunday night or Saturday night. They're back tonight, Wednesday night. It's Wednesday night, so it's Monday night, the game. But it's going to be a big game. And I don't know if that same momentum is going to come through, but it looks like the Lightning are just going to dominate. It's going to be another win. And now people are mad at them for being over the salary cap. They're 18 million over, blah, blah, blah. I don't really think it affects it because I think the Blackhawks did it also when they had their run for 3 years. When they won, they were kind of over the salary cap. They figured out like a loophole in the system. So good for them. I'm excited. I think it's great. I think it's the best hockey. If you hate hockey or hate watching normal hockey, like regular season, this is the best hockey to watch. Fights left and right. Did you see the guy's head get slammed on the ice and blood all over the place? Great. No. That is hockey right there. It was so good. And there's fist fights all the time. It's the best part of hockey, this playoff hockey. So go watch it. Please go.
I don't have a problem with the Lightning being over the salary cap. The Yankees did that for so many years, and they're in New York, and they were able to do it just because they're in a big city.
Yeah.
Tampa's not a big city, and I know they have a good loyal fan base, but compared to a lot of Northeastern and Canadian cities, most people in Tampa don't really care about the Lightning. So I think it's not a knock on them. I think it's great that they keep performing this well. So one question I have is, are all the games in Tampa?
No. It's just like any playoff. So it goes.
No, but they're not allowed to play in Canada, right?
They go to Canada. They're going to Canada.
Are you sure?
I mean, on the schedule,
I thought they weren't going to Canada.
The schedule says they're going to Canada. So I assume there are 2 games at home, 2 games in Canada, and then it goes back to Tampa, back to Canada, game 7.
File this under gossip, BS, lies, and rumors, but I heard they're not allowed to go to Canada. And so I was wondering where the Canadians' home games will be played, if they're all in Tampa or not.
They're definitely in Canada because people are buying tickets to the Canadian home team, the home games, and they're like $4,000.
Oh, wow.
In
I thought
Tampa,
Americans can freely travel still to Canada.
I don't think Americans will be going there except for the team.
The Lightning players are.
You're allowed to. I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know.
We'll fact check this for next week by game 7.
Yeah, I'm not handling their logistics.
I have another question.
Yeah.
In every sport, when you come to the finals, just like in the NBA next week, it's going to be a West Coast team, either Phoenix or LA, and an East Coast team, Atlanta or Milwaukee. Why are there 2 East Coast teams playing in the Stanley Cup final?
Because of the way the divisions worked out, they did not allow the Canadian team to play on any other team other than other Canadian teams. So like the divisions were locked in where you only could play within your division. So you
because they couldn't leave the country. Also,
and then also for the regular teams, you only could play within your division. So it was really, really weird. There's no like cross country travel. Like Lightning were not playing the Kings. So
how many Canadian teams are there?
We have Vancouver, we have Montreal, we have Toronto, Ottawa. Am I missing one?
Edmonton, or are they gone?
Edmonton Oilers, the Oilers, and the Winnipeg Jets. Holy shit, there's 6 teams in Canada.
Wow, like 30% of NHL teams are in Canada.
So 6 teams. So they had plenty to play with.
Okay.
Wow, that's a lot of teams. I never thought about it.
Maybe like 20%. But yeah, that's a lot.
Do you want to do J-Dark Takes On?
No, let's do Scandal City first.
Oh, Scandal City. Don't know where that one is. Hold on. Scandal City. I don't think it's on this version right here.
I'm very distracted. Don't hit Scandal City. Go to
time to dig up the
What's going?
I see Neil deGrasse Tyson's on my TV talking about new intrigue. Should we just go live to my TV right now?
What's going on your TV? Oh no, we got that. That's I think that's the real Scandal City. I have that too. You want?
Let's start right there. Let's start with your Scandal City.
Dig up the dirtiest stories around the sport world in this week's Scandal City.
Now, a lot of people don't know, but you, me, and our mutual friend are in a group thread, and I think it's just me, but I just send you UFO conspiracies.
This must be like a political friend group of like 3 old women, and only one always sends the articles and the other 2 just comment and never send back.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm sending you guys. I'm on TikTok and I see something and I send it over, and I love it. It's just like, sometimes mutual friends like, damn, I believe that. I'm in it. So we're talking a lot of like UFOs lately. A lot of UFO things have come out. A lot of conspiracies. I was actually out at dinner last night with a friend, and I was telling him that I believed in ghosts and UFOs. And he's like, oh, well, there's obviously easy explanations for a lot of stuff. He's basically, he didn't even want to like debate it. He's just like, there are reasons why things happen, and they're not UFOs and they're not paranormal activity. And he just shut it down. There was no like, oh, well, maybe that I could believe in that. So there's some people that just don't want to hear it. And I think a lot of people don't want to hear it. And I saw an article yesterday that a Facebook UFO moderator, he wants to know why no one cares about UFOs. All this information has been out. Like government says, yes, these are UAPs. These are whatever. Why doesn't anybody care? I don't know. Why doesn't anybody care, Jeremy?
There's a lot to unpack there.
Yes.
Nobody seems to care either. One, because everyone is too scared to care and is not prepared for the inevitable fact that there is other life. They might want to harm us. They're definitely smarter than us. They might be in the future. People don't want to accept what they don't want or what they are scared of. So that's a little psychology for you. Wow. Another thing, and I'm an expert on that.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on science and UFOs. What I would say is there's a chance we're all aliens, and we're not overreacting to this, or most of us aren't, because we are already aliens and we are ingrained to not react to this news because they don't want everyone to react to it. And there is something going on there, because this has potential to be the biggest stories of our life. Yet you're right. No one seems to care, and no one's freaking out about it. Why aren't we freaking out about it? Maybe the simulation we're in, maybe the aliens that we are is like not allowing us to react to the alien news, because if we all reacted, it would blow the cover of what's actually going on with the aliens. What do you think of that?
That one's a little harder to follow. So you're saying we're aliens and they're suppressing our information because we are aliens. And if we found out we were aliens, it's going to be a bigger issue.
You got it. Yeah, you follow.
I think the bigger issue is, I think there's more information that we don't know. I think a lot of the UFOs that we've seen around and video and all that crap, I think there's something to it. I just don't know what's going to come of it if everybody said, if like the president said, aliens are real, we have one and captive, and we can show you guys. I don't think we could handle it. I think shit would go berserk. It's not like finding like a new species of bear or something. It's like,
I know. I'd be worried about my stocks on that day.
Yeah, stocks would not be going well that day. But I just think it's something we can't handle, and maybe the news just doesn't put it out there because they don't want to have people react.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is still talking on this national network about aliens. It's been like 20 minutes since we started the show, and they were talking about it when it started.
Yeah,
and this is a huge network.
Isn't he kind of like poo-poo on aliens a little bit?
And maybe that's why he's on, but there's another expert who looks like he's really loving life over here. Wish people could see it. I think a few things to back up as we throw a few facts into this weird conversation. So the U.S. government did release that report on Friday, the ultimate like summer Friday news drop. Like they didn't even want anyone to look at it, of course. No. And so there was no proof of aliens in it. And that's like the headline that people are running with. What they're not running with is there's all these sightings that the top people in the Pentagon, the space experts, the military experts, they can't describe it and they don't know what it is. And they classified it into like 5 buckets. I don't have the list in front of me, but like one possible bucket is like trash or like a balloon. They say one of the UAP sightings was a balloon in the air. Like, okay, maybe one was. That's fine. That's not what most of them are. So like they put them in all these different buckets. Another country that's also very scary. I just want it to be known that's just as scary or more scary than a UFO sighting, because they may want, like Russia or China might want to hurt us more than the aliens do. I think there's a solid chance of that. And so they're saying that all these things happened and there's something out there happening and they can't figure it out, which is also very scary. Yeah. Let us know your alien thoughts. 323-334-0239. Text or call us. I feel like I used to listen to my dad in the car. We were in the car together when I was a kid, and you listen to this talk radio guy. Do you know this guy?
Yes, the late night. Yes, the late night. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, of course.
Well, that's who we are right now.
But the thing was, like, people listen to it. I still think there are a lot of shit. Last night I was trying to explain to somebody that wouldn't want to debate the fact that something could be real. I said, we don't know shit about anything of why we're here. We're floating rock in the middle of nowhere. We don't know what's going on. Why did the universe appear? Why are things here? We barely know anything. And I feel like only in the last, we could say the last 150 years, we have found out more about ourselves and more about like medicine and technology than we have in the first 10,000 years humans were around. Right. So I think it's really hard to comprehend, because you could say not 10 years ago, 100 years ago, be like, oh my God, there's going to be medicine to cure all these diseases instead of putting leeches on us. Like, don't leeches just like heal us? So I think it's like we're still evolving and understanding it as the knowledge grows. But yeah, I don't want to come off cuckoo, but it's fun to think about.
Well, I think we're already there, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get into
No, let's continue this for a second. I was going to say a few other points. One is that another idea is that these are humans time traveling from wherever they are coming back to visit us, and they don't want us to know that they exist, because that would also disrupt some shit here on Earth. If you found out like in hundreds of years they can time travel back, but like we don't know how to talk to them or do it ourselves, and that's kind of freaky. So that's an idea. There's other thoughts out there. I forget what else I was going to say, because you said I was going cuckoo, and you're so right, and I might not want to say My last thought.
Come on, give me your last thought. Give it to me.
No,
I want to hear how cuckoo it is. You're alone.
I'm gonna save that one. I need to let that one bake a little more. But it's just I think it's something that we should all be aware of and prepared for. Like any day, and I had this example like a month ago. Any day, an alien could drop out of the sky, and we
crazy.
we need to not be prepared, like not be caught off guard by it. Like we can be like, yeah, there's obviously aliens. They've been sightings, and it makes sense that one just fell in the parking lot.
Yeah, I think there's all these like weird history things of like, the old paintings of like things coming down. I think like, why can it not be real until you prove me wrong that these aren't real, until you can grab one? I've seen videos, I've seen all this shit. So prove me wrong. And then I'll say, okay, you know what? They were just fucking, all of them were balloons, but right now you can't say it. So
the other thing is the ones that have been spotted so far, I know they're not talking to us or communicating with us. They want to be seen, because if they didn't want to be seen, they have all the technology to not be seen. Like they're much smarter than us. Clearly they're zooming around, going all these different ways. They don't have to be seen. I think they might be slowly bringing us, and maybe this is like them knowing more about us than we know about ourselves, but slowly bringing us to the end goal. And there'll be more and more sightings, and then a slight communication, then more communication, and then finally,
here it is. This is what I wanted.
A meeting with them.
That's what I wanted.
I hope
our conspiracy theory.
I hope we survive this conversation.
All right, what do you got?
I have a real Scandal City, equally as crazy as the last discussion. Phil Jackson. So Scottie Pippen went on the Dan Patrick Show.
Okay.
Scottie Pippen played Michael Jordan on all those Bulls teams, and he called Phil Jackson a racist, and he kind of said it just in a casual way as he was promoting his alcohol brand, and it was crazy because Scottie Pippen.
Where was Scottie Pippen doing this?
With the Dan Patrick Show.
And he just randomly said that.
Yeah, he said, yeah, Scotty's or he said, yeah, Phil's a racist. Phil is one of the best NBA coaches of all time, coaching in a league of a lot of, or mostly, black men. He was a crazy successful coach with Michael Jordan, then went on to the Knicks, not as successful there, went on to the Lakers. He was successful there as well. It's just amazing that Scottie Pippen is saying this, and we weren't in the locker room, so we don't know what he's thinking or saying. But this is a pretty big revelation about one of the best, if not the best, basketball coach.
How did he say it? We were like having a conversation, just talking about, I got a new alcohol out. Phil Jackson's right.
Well, he made some. There's a backstory that I'm going to investigate too much, but he spoke to Sports Illustrated about it, and I guess he had some quotes leaning that direction. But then he came out and really said it. To Dan Patrick when Dan asked him about the article. Now,
I don't want to go all conspiracy on this, but he's had quite a few years to like come out and say something like this, right? So is it just like a PR push? Like, just say something wild, Scotty. Like, you got to get something out here.
Got to sell the booze.
Yeah, I don't know. Sounds a little weird, but
it's my Scandal City. Yours is more fun.
All right.
I'm wearing a hat, by the way. It's a new hat, and I think it's very good for us and for anyone who tries to play golf and isn't very good. And I'm putting myself in that bucket at this point, even though I did make an 18-foot putt in Laughlin, Nevada, to win, to beat our rich friend.
Okay, good.
But anyway, I'm wearing this hat, and it's a hat, and it's very simple. If you're not watching us, you should. We're on YouTube. Just search The Sports Hangover. We are a podcast. You might be listening. And so it's a hat with a man driving a golf cart, and he's holding a drink in his hand, because basically the only way that I can play golf anymore is drinking.
It is, yeah. I didn't drink enough that day, so I was very frustrated and very bad. Let's yeah, I did. It was really hot. Let's play Bullshit or Believe. Bullshit or Believe time. Bullshit or Believe time. Bullshit or Believe. I have a Bullshit or Believe. Listen, we've talked about Aaron Rodgers for goddamn weeks. So now it's like, is he opting out? So it seems like he's not opting out yet, but it looks like he's going to play the wait and see game before he makes any decisions. I don't know where Aaron Rodgers is at this point, but it kind of does seem like we haven't heard much. Is he talking to anybody? Seems like there's no communication. If he opts out, are they going to be the worst team in the league? Like, do we bet on them to be the worst team in the league?
No.
Okay. All right.
The team I keep telling you is awful is the Jets. The Jets are trash. They're going to start Zach Wilson, who was good for 1 year at BYU. Now TSH investigates is continuing. I'm going to Utah next week to find out more about Zach Wilson and his college career. I think the Jets are worse than the Packers would be. The Packers were a few plays away from beating the Bucs and going to the Super Bowl. And And Aaron Rodgers is
They do.
responsible for most of that, but certainly not all of it.
All right. Well, then Aaron Rodgers. I don't want to talk too long about it because we've talked about Aaron Rodgers for goddamn weeks.
And there'll be more there too. Do you have more bullshit or believe?
No, that's it.
You want to do a J-Dog takes on it?
Yeah, let's do that.
J-Dog takes on.
Travel's heating up, Mike. You know what
Yeah?
that means?
Oh no.
It means J-Dog Takes On is looking for sponsors. That's right. We don't have any sponsors for the new travel season. So
Good.
hit us up at thesportshangover.com. You can find us there. You can tweet us at TSH Podcast. We're on Instagram. What is it? The Sports Hangover Podcast? Something
Yes.
like that.
Yes. Right.
Reach out if you want to sponsor any of our segments, including if you're a resort destination that wants to give us free rooms in exchange for sponsored reads. Just throwing that out. Okay. This is a PSA for J-Dog Takes On.
All right, give it to me.
Don't start fantasy football preparation too early because you're looking at the calendar and you're looking at July 1st and you're thinking, well, NHL's about over. NBA will be over soon. What am I going to do in July? Don't peak too early. Chances are your fantasy football draft is in late August, maybe the first week of September. Because the season doesn't start till mid-September with that Cowboys-Bucks opener. So what I'm advising is July 1st, too early. Give yourself 2 or 3 more weeks before you dive in. I don't want people peaking for their fantasy football drafts around August 5th. Then your draft is September 1st, and you already don't have the latest information. You peak too early. So don't start yet.
Okay,
I know our mutual friend, he buys the magazine at the grocery store counter. Yeah. Just wait a few weeks on that, bud.
He's been doing good every year, too. Really, really good. Oh, man. It's weird. I need to listen to a lot of podcasts to remember I like football, to remember like I need to know all these players.
Like this one?
Who's going on, like what's happening. Oh, I build out like my Excel sheet. I got really good with like a little database and I have all my notes and I quickly search based off rank of who I want to draft. It's great. And I'm glad we do. I mean, I'm not glad we do it, but our league is really dumb. So what our league does, we decided to move off ESPN, move off all these platforms and do a live auction on an Excel sheet. Mm-hmm. And that shit, it probably takes like 5 hours too long because we're live auctioning. We're saying, who wants the bid? Oh, do this. Oh, all you got to do is put it in the Excel sheet and it goes up. It works, but it takes so goddamn long because there is no ticker to say, all right, it's over. Like, it's yours. Like, just go for it.
It's just amazing that in 2021, this land of technology that we all live in, that we're acting like it's 1950 and we're doing it slot by slot, person by person. It's an archaic way to do it. It takes too long. And that's another thing. Don't do that if your league does it. Just use ESPN's draft mechanism. It works great.
It works really good. And there's rankings. You don't have to do all your own work. It's actually a lot better. What else?
For July 4th, go to thesportshangover.com. We're showing our graphic right now. We have shirts, we have tanks, we have all kinds of clothes. We have America. It is America's birthday this weekend.
It is. Are you doing anything this weekend or where are you going? You going back to
I'm going to Utah. I'm going to Utah. I'm going to hike on July 4th because what's more American than that? What are you doing?
So American. I'm going to be on a lake out in Idaho.
It's great.
So American. I've never been
on a lake
American.
in Idaho. Were you there?
I was not there. I'm gonna bring my Sports Hangover shirt. Lots of pictures. Lots of Sports Hangover pictures.
Oh yeah. We have koozies on there. We have all kinds of stuff.
I like it all. I have one BDE. Do you want to do some big dick energy?
Going. Yeah.
We got. It's not over yet, Jeremy.
Big dick energy.
My last one.
Winner of the week.
All right. This is big dick energy because I don't know who this guy is, but I'm giving him the big dick energy of the week. Wisconsin's Graham Merritt's. He revealed a personal logo, and now that logo he will get money for the NCAA because now he will get his own trademark logo on it, and anything likeness or anything like that he will get paid for in video games or wherever else it gets put. So I think this is a step in the right direction. Don't know if it's a big step, but I thought it was an interesting step that he made a logo, trademarked it, and now he has a logo that he can get paid for.
That means a lot coming from you because you love graphic design, you love the logos, you love creativity, and so for you to compliment this means it must be pretty good and it must be on its way to being successful.
Don't know if the logo's good. I just think that it's good that he made it so he can get paid. He needs to like trademark it to get paid. That's what he has to do. So I think this is a good, chain of reaction. Other people should do this. Go get paid. Have your school fucking pay you for something.
It's a good first step. The NCAA needs to step up here, and we're tilting in that direction. We just need it to flow all the way over, so all of college athletes at all levels of play
All
have
levels.
a chance to get paid. But I do believe in that sliding scale where the college
Sure. Yeah, you
quarterback
have to.
makes more money for his school than the boys tennis player. So he, the quarterback deserves more. Sorry, but that's just how it works.
Okay, now the show is over. So go to thesportshangover.com unless you have any more. Do you have any more?
No, we're
Okay, good. Sports Hangover, go buy shit. Go to the Sports Hangover podcast on Instagram.
Happy July 4th.
America's birthday. If we don't get arrested, monster abuse. Hopefully, we are back next week.